Hey, this is Stephanie.
And I am Meredith, and welcome to This Is My Circle.
Oh gosh, it's so early. So my life is just insane and trying to catch up. We're still so far behind. So we are recording at 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, which is our airing day. So we
So
make
here
it
we
work.
are. Here we are. That's okay. How did Rex enjoy his walk this morning?
Good. We did a short walk. We normally walk most of our neighborhood, like a mile and a half, little over a mile and a half. So we just did like a shorter loop this morning. It's like I'm outside right now, but like it's just like gross out. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll stay
So
inside for a minute.
yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
It was pretty good, I guess. I don't know. Like, it was not very eventful. I'm bummed that we did not go to California because
Yes.
our entire crew got invited to Shamar's house and they had
Oh my,
all the things. Like, they had like the full bar. He had a taco truck there.
oh my
Like,
God.
I know. So I'm like, dude, like, you had me at tacos, okay?
Yeah. Oh,
But they all had a blast. They said that, I mean, everything was awesome. There was a bunch of other celebrities there, like some other like sports people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Terrell Owens was there, and he used to be an Eagle. So, that would have been really cool, but
Oh,
whatever.
I know. Oh, next time.
Yeah, next time. So,
Next.
speaking of football, congratulations, Jay, on the
Thanks.
win. Um,
Yeah. No,
so,
that actually his team lost.
oh, did they?
Yeah. His team lost.
Oh,
But
I
personally he won.
was it the ninth grade team that won? Or
And
then?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So the
okay.
ninth grade team did win. But JV, which he's playing, lost. But he did have a great game. With him being moved up and being the youngest out there, I didn't know if he'd really even get any playing time. But he actually started both ways and had a really good game. So
Good.
ready for this week, we have to go to Hillcrest, which is about an hour and a half away, I think. So
Yeah.
that'll be a long night. But I'm still don't have my voice back from all the yelling. I've got to restrain myself. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So
Well, that's good. How is ninth grade going for Jackson?
it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. He's managing things really well for now with, work and sports and work, school and sports and everything.
It is kind of their job. Like
And it's his
I
job. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
I would say that.
so, so he seems to be doing really well for now. But this semester always is. The first semester is always kind of okay for him. I think because he has such a strict routine. Is that next one when he gets distracted
Yeah.
and he wants to be done? But he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Good.
And how did lacrosse practice go for Dylan last week? I saw him some last week, by the way.
Oh, at the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's doing good. He said that like it's like the practices are really intense. I guess more so than the
What he's
Clover
used
ones
to.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing a ton of conditioning, which he's in pretty good shape, thank goodness. Or else this could have been a whole lot worse. But they do weight training a couple of times a week, and they do have a specific weight trainer that
Mhm.
works with them there. So they have a really, really great weight room. When we went and toured it, they showed us all the equipment and everything that they'll be using. So he is really enjoying it. He said it's very like his legs were sore all weekend.
He didn't skip leg day.
Yeah. So, but he's really enjoying it. He said that like he's like it's almost as bad as wrestling conditioning, and those practices are crazy when he was doing wrestling.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to do wrestling this year. Last year he did it. He's not crazy about like he loves the practice, he loves the conditioning, he loves wrestling. He hates competing in it. Like he does not like to do the competitions. He doesn't want to be there all day. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever been to wrestling,
I
but
have. I have. And
it's
I
an
can,
all
yeah.
day affair. Like you are there
Yeah.
from 8 o'clock in the morning until like, good gracious. It was like one night we didn't get out of there until like 11, 12.
Yeah. No, so when Jasmine's boys wrestled, I think it was Isaiah that I went to see because Jonas was not at the high school level at that point. And
Mhm.
I was like, well, what time does he wrestle? And she was like, well, I don't know. There's 3 matches in front of him. It could be, 30 minutes. It could be 3 minutes. Like I've got nothing. And that for my OCD brain was just
Yeah.
not good.
It was, yeah. And then you're in the room, like in like a gym full of sweaty,
Oh yeah.
gross,
Oh yeah.
nasty boys. No, thank you. So,
Mhm.
wow. And he killed it in wrestling. Like he was so good, like just naturally good. And,
Yeah.
but he loves lacrosse. Like that's his passion.
Yeah.
He likes wrestling. He loves the fitness aspect of it. He just didn't care for the competing. Like,
Yeah. And that's
and then,
okay. I mean, he tried
yeah,
it. He did it. He finished his seasons that he did it. And
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
get it.
But I mean, like the first year he went undefeated,
Yeah.
and he was like wrestling the weight class up. He was one or two weight classes because he lost so much weight throughout the season
Yeah.
that he had dropped so many weight classes. And then last year he was, I think this is what actually did it. He was wrestling in his normal weight class and he missed his weight by not even a half a pound. It was like a quarter of a pound
Oh,
and he couldn't wrestle. And then he was stuck there all day. And I was like, I'm not driving an hour to come pick you up because you can't wrestle. I am sorry. You're going to have to deal with it. And I was like,
yeah.
go pee. He's like, I already did.
Oh my gosh. That would be
So he was,
frustrating.
yeah, he was, and then like, he's like, can you send me like Uber Eats? I'm starving. Because he
Yeah.
didn't eat most of, and like that's the other part I hate about it is like being so concerned about weight and making weight and not eating
Totally.
like correctly, and the damage that does on your body too, which I think is not quite as bad because they have so many different things in place now to kind of regulate that. But that was a huge problem for a very long time with wrestlers,
Yes.
eating disorders and not eating before matches, and then like stuffing their faces right before they went onto the mat, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just a disaster. So
Yeah.
I'm not sad that he's not doing wrestling this year. If he loved it, of course I would support him. But
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. So, funny story. We went this weekend on a quick little, I just needed to like get out of the house for a little bit. Like, we haven't been anywhere recently, we hadn't done anything outside of regular stuff. So, we just drove up to just like right past Shelby
mhm.
for like, let's just go find a little hole in the wall place. And I love to eat at places that are different.
Mhm.
I appreciate like little mom and pop places more than like, like a chain. So we went and ate and we were just driving around because it was really pretty. We were actually just enjoying because you could see some of the mountains from there. So just enjoying, whatever. And on the way back, I don't know if you know this, but there's this Amish place in North Carolina, like Amish community. Did you know that?
Mhm.
Isn't that crazy? So Brian was like, let's go check out, like, they have like a fruit stand with like fruits and vegetables and whatever. And he was like, maybe you'll see like something in there, get something to take home or whatever. And so we pull up and there's like, apples and baked goods that they sell, which are 100% homemade or whatever. And it was really neat. They had these cutting boards that were beautiful, like handmade. Anyway, and then they had this little sign, piglets for sale. And I was like, how mad would Brian be? He told me to go get something. If I just walked to the car with a piglet.
What would he do?
Let's see. Do I want to push him over the edge today or are we going to let it ride a little bit? So,
That was like when Rex followed me home, and I was like, he just followed me home. And Brandon was like, he did. You've been feeding that dog for weeks. He didn't just follow you home. What did you think was going to happen?
and he is so good, Rex. I love Rex. He's such a good boy. So anyway, I just thought that was funny, like me in my mind trying to push Brian over the edge. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say. So, our following has grown to where it's, like a lot of Jackson's little dude friends would listen. Now some of
Mhm.
the girls listen. I
So one
know.
of Dylan's lacrosse friends was like, my mom was listening to your podcast in the car the other day. And I was like, no way. So hi, Aiden's mom.
Yeah. And I wanted to say hi to Hannah because I just thought that was really awesome to have a younger generation just laughing with us about our goofiness. Anyway,
Yeah,
okay. So moving on, did you read Jar of Hearts?
I did. And Jar of Hearts was by Jennifer Hillier.
Yes.
And I didn't read it. I listened to it as always, but
Same.
I'm going to read a little blurb. But before we do that, let's just get out trigger warnings. There was sexual assault, murder, dismemberment, domestic violence, and a lot of language. Yeah. So there's this was a dark book.
It was.
All right. So this is from the Amazon recap. When she was 16 years old, Angela Wong, one of the most popular girls in school, disappeared without a trace. Nobody ever suspected that her best friend, Georgina Shaw, now an executive and rising star at the Seattle pharmaceutical company, was involved in any way. Certainly not Kaiser Brody, who was close with both girls back in high school. 14 years later, Angela Wong's remains are discovered in the woods near Gio's childhood home, and Kaiser, now a detective with the Seattle PD, finally learns the truth. Angela was a victim of Calvin James, the same Calvin James who murdered at least 3 other women. To the authorities, Calvin is a serial killer, but to Gio, he's something else entirely. Back in high school, Calvin was Gio's first love. Turbulent and often volatile, their relationship bordered an obsession from the moment they met right up until the night Angela was killed. For 14 years, Gio knew what happened to Angela and told no one. For 14 years, she carried the secret of Angela's death until Gio was arrested and sent to prison. While everyone thinks they finally know the truth, there are dark secrets buried deep. And what happened that fateful night is more complex and more chilling than anyone really knows. Now the obsessive past catches up with the deadly present when new bodies begin turning up, killed in the exact same manner as Angela Wong. So
That was a long intro.
It was very long.
So I thought this book was very complex. Like I felt like there was so many layers, so many like in my mind when I read, I start to, I guess, kind of make this diagram and like connect like who's with who and where and whatever. And I felt like there was a lot going on. This was a complicated book in my mind, but an easy read, if that makes sense. Like there was a lot of parts, but it wasn't difficult to follow.
Yeah. Going into the book, I don't know. I wasn't sure. You know, like how like sometimes you just like a character or you totally hate the character. And so as the book developed, I think the development of Gio, her whole life as it unraveled, made her more likable. She was almost like the villain, but also like the hero at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
So you think going into it, she's this horrible, awful, awful person. But as the relationship with Calvin develops and you see her being 16 is a hard age. Like that's a hard age. You think you're grown. You think that you know everything. You think you've got everything figured out, but you're so moldable. And I don't want to say like naive, but like you don't have life experience yet.
Yeah.
Especially the life experience you think you have. So you think you're in love. You think like all these, you have all these.
Brains aren't fully developed at that point. So, I mean, you can't make decisions with all of your brain yet.
Yeah. There was a quote in this book. It says, a relationship isn't supposed to make you feel out of control. It's not supposed to consume you. It's not supposed to change you into someone you don't want to be. And that really stuck with me. I think there's so many times, and not just like romantic relationships, friendships, where you want to fit in so bad or you want to be accepted so bad that you do stuff that's out of character, or you do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. And I think that that's so like for adults as well, but especially for teenagers, there's so many pressures to, so Gio wasn't like the super, super pretty popular one. That was Angela. So she felt so special. And I think obviously Calvin was a predator. He was 21, she was 16, which, I mean, as you get older, 5 years isn't a big difference, but at that age, it is a big difference. And
well, at that time, that age, because this, the things happened in the past, like their relationship was in the past. So at that time, it wasn't such a big deal to, have a few years between like that.
That's like, I think if my parents knew that I was going out with a 21-year-old, they would have killed me. Like that's, at 16, I think my parents would have been like, absolutely not,
no.
Yeah. So, and there's a big, maturity difference between 16 and 21. So he knew what he was doing. He knew she was insecure. He knew that everyone always went bananas over Angela. I
When
think
he was so manipulative.
yes,
He was so like he knew that Gio wasn't the, the
confident.
pretty one in the group. So he used that against her when he showed her the attention, and even the way then so maybe some spoilers unintentionally, but like when Angela would give him some attention, he would blame it on just the fact, oh, she's pretty, she expects it, kind of thing, and just gaslighty, all the things. Definitely predator, definitely
Yeah.
just manipulate. I was not a fan of Calvin, but I will say, and I feel weird even saying this, I'm a fan of Gio. Like I liked her. You
Yeah.
too? A little
And
bit?
that's what I'm saying. Like she's like the villain, but she's also the hero. She definitely had her part in things and made bad decisions.
Right.
But again, at 16, you are so impressionable, and she was so smart but so dumb at the same time.
Well, and she, when you're 16, you're thinking only in this moment. Like you're not seeing the big picture of things. So she was just,
But
yeah,
she was almost on like cleanup duty. Like it wasn't like she
yeah,
had, like she did not condone what was going on. She did not like wish
right.
anything bad on anybody. She
She
was
was just
stuck in
trying
the
to not get in
aftermath.
trouble.
She was
Yeah.
stuck in the aftermath. So what I did like is the author kept it very true to, I believe, how people are accepted back into society or not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
The town hated Angela. Like they
Mm-hmm.
did not accept her. Not Angela. Gio.
Yeah. Yeah.
They they were not accepting of her. She couldn't get a
Mm-hmm.
job. People were very rude to her. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that is probably how it would be. I probably would have a very negative attitude if I lived in that
Yeah.
town.
Me too.
Um, so it's relatable on all sides, I think,
Mm-hmm.
other than Calvin because he's a butthead.
Oh my God. Yeah. The farther that book went, and then but then at the end, you're like, okay, okay, do I like him now? Or maybe not even like him, but I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he tried to redeem himself for like a
yeah,
page of the book.
yeah, yeah,
So it seems like he truly 100% did love her in his weird twist sick
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Um, but he's twisted and
yeah,
something's wrong with him. So I still hate him.
totally, totally.
Did you see the ending though? Like, did you see that coming?
Not at all. Until like right before it happened, I was like, oh, I bet this is the connection. And then I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
but still up until that point, no, I didn't see any of that coming.
Yeah.
And then when the ending, when you're at the, the closer, not like when you're at the end of the book, when all the stuff is happening and all the pieces are coming together, there was some things in there that I was like, no, he's not. No, he's not.
I know
Was
exactly what part you're talking about. And like, I was like, ugh.
I know, I
if
know.
you, if you didn't see the
So
video, that was me like vomiting because it was
it was
okay.
terrible. It was terrible. But he did not. It was just insinuated that something was going to happen, and it did not happen at that
Mhm.
time. Don't want to give too many spoilers, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that. And I didn't see, she told enough to keep herself out of like major trouble. I didn't see the extra part that she had in the crime.
Right,
Um, when they
right,
revealed that at the end, I was like, "Ooh!"
right.
So
Totally.
I thought it was a great book. It was definitely dark. It was definitely twisty.
Yeah.
It was graphic. So
Yes.
if that's not your style, do not read this book. But I thought it was really because it is my
Yeah.
style.
So, what would you rate the book? I liked it. I think I'd probably give it like probably like an 8 or 9. I
I was thinking 8. Yeah, yeah.
and
It was a little bit too graphic almost for me.
yeah,
On like certain parts that I think just kind of insinuated on that I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
But I thought it was really good. I thought it was well written. I thought the characters were developed really well, and
Hmm.
the twists just kept coming. So I liked it.
I did too. Okay, so our next book is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Have you read
Yep.
that one?
I haven't read it yet, but I did watch the movie.
Awesome. Good. And then we just have one more on this list, and then we'll start on our next list. Have you
Ooh.
started reading Nichole Eaton's book?
I did. So I'm in the second section of it, and I've been going very slowly. Like I probably could have, obviously breezed through this book really quickly, but
Yeah.
I wanted to really absorb everything that is being said because it is like it's very enlightening. That it starts out you're in your black hole, like this is like your rock bottom black hole moment. Like you have to take it for what it is, and she
Mm-hmm.
gives her experiences with being totally broke and getting pregnant in college and not knowing what to do or like you
Yeah.
get like in your life is completely different than what you planned
Yeah.
and then I think a lot of people can relate to that. She just writes so relatable to
Mm-hmm.
I think like the masses. I mean, I think we've all
Yeah.
felt that way at some point, so I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to like the point where like you fix your life yet, but
The how do we fix ourselves? Good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. So
yeah.
we've got this the Girl on the Train, and then one more book, and then we'll start our new list. And at our new list, at the top of it, we will have her book. So that still gives us a couple of weeks to read that one.
Have you started it or no?
I have not started it yet.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of all over the place because I do start my job next week. And
Yay.
so, yeah, I've been trying to get some other things tied up, since I've had some free time before that point. And I start umpiring again tonight for the fall season.
Ooh. Are
So,
you
yeah,
gonna add some of the dance moves?
we'll see. I do need a GoPro. I think I need to wear a GoPro,
Do a
but
little
turn it
shimmy
around
kick.
on me. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so that given that extra time will give me time to, because like you said, you don't want to read it and just throw it, be done with it. You want to definitely take it in so you can apply all the wisdom that she is going to throw out at us.
Yeah.
Cool.
So as I was like we're going a little bit off topic. As I was looking for our dumb crimes and laws, do you know what I found?
What?
Do you know that they do prison reviews like Yelp and Google reviews?
No,
Yeah.
I feel like I could go down that rabbit hole.
It is a gold mine. A gold mine. It is the
So, okay, so is it employees leaving the reviews, former inmates?
prisoners.
Oh,
So can I read you one? Because it's
yes.
hysterical. Okay. I picked two that like I was like laughing out loud at. Okay, so this one says 2 stars, dropped the soap, wasn't advised at all. Would have given more stars, but turns out the rooms are shared and bathrooms are common. Most of the other guests are not upstanding citizens.
Oh my God.
And then the second one, it says it was from San Quentin State Prison. 1 star from John A. After being told that my wardrobe was not up to their standards, they made me strip in front of them and put on one of their ugly blue onesies. The gall of the staff here. They didn't even tip me for the strip show. Cheap, cheapskates. Oh, and did I mention the sandals and white tube socks they made me wear? I didn't realize I wandered into Germany. Things went from bad to worse real quick. I didn't realize I booked and shared accommodations. My room was one huge concrete room and enough bunk beds for the entire Miami Dolphins football team. And don't get me started on the open toilet. I made sure to let everyone know I was going number 2 in case they wanted to watch.
Oh my gosh. I
So
mean,
I think this needs to be added to our weekly
weekly
content.
review.
Oh my god,
Oh,
I was dying.
how on that? Okay, I'm speechless. So yeah, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, they were so funny. And like those were like the two like just like popped out at me, but there was hundreds upon hundreds of these reviews.
So is it a specific website?
No, like well, so I was just searching like the dumb crimes or whatever, and it's like it pulled up first it pulled up a radio station that had like the funniest prison reviews. And I'm like, that's a thing. And so then I went down the rabbit hole of like, well, where are these reviews? And like
Right. Okay.
apparently they're on like Yelp and there's Google reviews and then
Um,
like there's like all these like websites like dedicated to these reviews.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of criminals. I mean, we all make mistakes. I'm not saying that. So, but whatever. But That's funny. Like
Yeah.
they're funny little criminals.
I think you have to have a sense of humor at,
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
definitely. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
That is so
So
funny. I'm gonna have
that
to
was
look at
my
those today.
yeah. It was pretty good.
So this week with our laws and our crimes, we did Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I do
Um
have to tell you, I had a hard time finding something with cheese.
so I found a couple of law I did find some crimes, but they weren't like funny. I mean, like they weren't like
Yeah.
dumb crimes. It was like they just stole a truck full of cheese.
I saw a lot of those.
I
Like,
know.
wow. Um,
But yeah, there was no like they slipped on the cheese or like, anything funny.
yeah. Or they put cheese
Um
in their pants or anything like that.
they caught them by a boot print impression in the cheese. Like there was nothing like that.
Yeah,
But I did see a couple of laws with cheese. So you want to go with your dumb crime?
sure. Um, and it's really short, and it does have a little bit of cheese in it, but I did want to try to, meet that standard. Either James Summers had a lifelong dream of working at a Denny's, or he was just really hungry. In one of the most bizarre arrest reports, Summers waltzed into a Madison, Wisconsin Denny's in February of 2012. He was dressed up in a coat and tie and claimed to be sent over from corporate. Something didn't seem right to the people at Denny's, so while they were calling corporate to inquire, he put on Summers put his plan into action. He began to cook himself a cheeseburger and fries. So he just walks in and says, I'm from corporate. I'm just here to inspect everything. I'm going to go back here and cook something. And the Denny's people were like, what? Yeah, so he was arrested. But, anyway, hopefully he got to eat his burger.
I bet he was
Right.
hungry. You got to do what you got to do.
I mean, I love a good cheeseburger. I'm not going to lie.
Have you ever eaten at a Denny's?
Yes, I'm sure.
Were their cheeseburgers like worth like getting arrested over?
It depends on how hungry I am. Tell me about your dumb criminal.
All right. So this got off of like a radio station. This dude didn't think anything through. This was kind of like I'm just gonna go for it. I'm invincible. Things didn't go as planned. Lamont Walker has earned the dumbest Wisconsin criminal ever award for me. This Milwaukee, Wisconsin criminal can't catch a break. Lamont Walker tried robbing a Milwaukee Walgreens location. The key word is tried. No one was at the cash register. Dude freaked out when the employee saw him, so he just took off running. Is there such a thing as being a robber and getting cold feet? I guess so. So Lamont runs out of the Walgreens, hightails it down the sidewalk. To hide the evidence so he doesn't get busted, he attempts to toss the gun as he ran down the sidewalk. The only thing that ruined this was he threw it right in front of the security camera. Now, it was a decent toss to Lamont's credit. The 9mm with 13 rounds of .380 caliber ammunition was launched onto the roof of a nearby Pete's Fruit Market. No one will look for the robber's gun on the roof, but there was that whole security camera thing.
Oh my God.
Cops were called after the failed Walgreens robbery, and they found Lamont not too far in an alleyway. The dude had a pretty impressive rap sheet of previous crimes, including robbery, theft, taking a vehicle without consent. Lamont also took third in state at the Wisconsin criminal discus toss. The guy has an arm, but man, that name, not so good.
I was going to say the same thing.
But they have a picture from the security camera,
Oh my
and he's
gosh.
like, he has his like leg in the air. He's like,
like trying to get the distance on there to make it go where it needs to go. That's funny. That's a good one.
It was funny. So no cheese with it, but yeah, it was a good
Well,
still frame
maybe
photo.
he was cheesing for the camera. I mean, okay, so add that to our list of how to be a criminal, but criminals stay stupid. That just look for the cameras. Like look for the cameras, guys.
But like there's cameras everywhere now. Like you have like
yeah,
it's like almost near impossible to get away with stuff anymore.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere.
Everywhere. Well, he gave us some laughter with his toss. So
thank you, Lamont.
Yes, totally. I did pull up some of the dumb laws, and I thought this one was like, what? You can't serve margarine at a restaurant unless the customer specifically requests it.
I saw that. But, well, and it's so to go with that, it says butter substitutes are not allowed to be served in prisons.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe the chemicals in it. I don't know. Maybe they're
I
like
don't
a
know.
healthy state. Although all the
Yeah,
cheese, like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's illegal to not base business hours on Central Time.
Okay. Well, here's your cheese one. While all cheese making requires a license, Limburger cheese requires a master cheesemaker's license.
Master cheesemaker. That sounds like a made up title. Hi, I'm Meredith. I'm a master cheesemaker.
Oh, that should be your job.
It is illegal to produce cheese that is not, quote, highly pleasing. But that's
But
subjective,
to
right?
who? Yeah, like
Yeah,
to who? Okay. Wisconsin takes its cheese seriously. State law requires that cheese labeled as Wisconsin certified premium grade AA meet a certain standard. It must be fine, highly pleasing, and free from undesirable flavors and odors. But again, like that's all subjective.
right, right.
Yeah.
Um, it is illegal to shoot missiles at parade participants.
Common
Who
sense.
randomly keeps missiles? Why would you shoot them at parade participants?
Parades are happy. Like they throw
Right.
candy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to go with that, well, maybe this is why citizens may not murder their enemies. Maybe an enemy was on the float waving.
Oh gosh, there's so
But is it
many.
but is it
There's so
okay to murder like a non-enemy?
no. It's not. Let me answer
For
that
all you
question
dumb
real quick.
for all your dumb criminals out there, it's still illegal.
There's several more, but you guys Google dumb laws in Wisconsin because there's a lot for Wisconsin. My last one's gonna say that it is illegal to worry a squirrel.
They're kind of like little like shifty guys. Like they seem to be always worried with their little tails going.
In the road back and forth and back and forth and back, like yeah. So maybe you just
Yeah.
can't add to that.
All right, well, here's my last one. In La Crosse, Wisconsin, it's illegal to display an unclothed mannequin in a store window.
I said that was my last, but to match that in the same place, it's illegal to wear red in public.
Like any red? I'd be arrested today.
You would be. You would be. You would be. Lock her up. Lock her up,
I'd get,
ladies and
when I get out, I'd make sure to give a review.
yeah, yes, totally. So do you have some more fun stuff coming up for your life? Or do
I
you not
don't.
even
We have a parent meeting tonight for lacrosse, but that's like the excitement. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot going on, I guess. I don't know. Like just working. It just takes up my whole
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I got you. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. How about you? What do you got going on besides your new job?
Oh, yeah, new job next week. I'm starting to ref. Jackson's games will be on Thursday, so that's so exciting for me. Yeah. So starting a new job, all the angst that goes with that, trying to make sure that you know everything and learning and focused and all that kind of stuff. So
Weird question. Speaking of anxiety, do you have to have it quiet when you go to sleep, or like do you listen to stuff like to go to sleep, or like watch TV, or
I'd rather not watch TV. I read sometimes to go to sleep, or listen to a book. But then I always have to like go back and figure out where I was. But I need some kind of like ambient noise, like white noise, a fan, something. What about you?
I've just been like so anxious and like anxiety levels have been super high and I've been very emotional for whatever reason, like more emotional than normal. I am a Cancer for my zodiac sign, so like I'm an emotional person anyway. It's just been like heightened lately. And so I've been listening to kind of like meditation, hypnosis type of things going to sleep, but
Yeah.
like having headphones in hurts my ears like all night long. And so I got this headband that has like headphones in it.
Oh,
And so it's not so hard on your ears. But
I've
it's
seen
actually,
that.
yeah, it's really cool. And I like it really works well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I would, if like you listen to something and you have to wear like headphones or anything at night, totally like those headphone things are awesome.
Yeah, let's link the one that you used. Do you wake up with it still in the right places?
No, like
Or
it's like kind of like smushed on my head, my down my face a little bit, but not like super bad.
because the noise doesn't bother me when I go. So like Brian likes to watch TV, so that's fine. But it's the light
Mhm.
that bothers me. So like if it's a show and it's good and bright and it feels like strobe light. So I've tried before to sleep with a mask on.
Mhm.
But I wake up and like I have no idea where the mask is. Like, oh, it came off at some point. Like, is it under the bed? I don't know. So
I thought you were gonna say it was like covering your mouth and like suffocating you.
no, I lose it. Totally lose it. Well,
Um,
cool. I'm glad that that's working for you. That might be
yeah,
something I need to invest in as well.
yeah. The new AirPods, like we got the AirPods, like the newest version of them, not too long ago because I lost my old one, and it like they're big, like I got
Yeah.
like little ear holes, and like so like they're just so like they're so much bigger than the old ones, so I don't like
Yeah.
them, but
Yeah.
um, so this definitely works out well for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, anything else?
No, no, we've got the whole day ahead of us now, though, so we can go be productive. Yeah, thumbs
No.
up, right? Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate your support. Please subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. We really need some more reviews, please. And follow us on our socials.
Yep. And I think that's it.
I think that's it too. All right. Thank you,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.